Hey everyone, it's ophangel. Today I'm gonna try to redesign a new Fursona for myself. Um, I always have a lot of trouble finding like a particular design that really sticks with me, and I'm sure other people have this trouble too. I can't possibly be the only one who goes through an onslaught of character designs and ideas and concepts of things and throwing it at a wall and seeing what sticks. But today I was brainstorming with a friend. I had like some vague ideas in mind, and she kind of gave me some thoughts. And she mentioned possibly doing something kind of, monstrous even. And I felt like that would be really fitting. And I do consider monsters to fall under the Fursona category. If it's not a human, it's a Fursona. of, of course, there's exceptions, I suppose. But today, it's just a Fursona. But what I had in mind was something sort of feral like, and it's gonna have an anthro form later down the line. I'm just really tired today. I've been so drained today, but it's right now it's a feral creature, kind of canine like, kind of weird, kind of freaky, but with hands for heads, more or less. Essentially, the concept of it, I was thinking about, how you do your little hands to make shapes, to make shadow puppets. It's going to be kind of like that, where it's also kind of akin to, I guess you can think of it as Thing from the Addams Family. It's kind of like that, except it has two heads, two hands, right and a left. But despite that, it's a very single-minded creature. Communicates, the left and the right side communicate effectively with each other. And I was thinking, I didn't want it just to have like hands for heads. Like, that's kind of, whatever. I'm pretty sure other people have done so before. I don't think this is a truly original, completely unique idea. But I wanted to have like a sort of arms for necks as well too, sort of like how cranes can like outstretch their necks, and extend it and use it to gain further length. So I was kind of thinking about that, and I think that would be a really fun way to kind of explore body language. Speaking of, I am no by any means no expert in anatomy, especially feral anatomy. I cannot draw feral anatomy very well, so I'm making up as I go. And I think that's the fun part about being an artist, is that you're allowed to make up anatomy, especially when you're making monsters. And I think that kind of allows me a lot more freedom in how I want to express myself. Um, and it's a little bit different this time around, because for the most part, a lot of my art is more colorful, it's more bright, it's more engaging. But I most of my previous sonas have been kind of limited in palette, or monotone, or just really they sway towards more desaturated colors. So it's different this time around, than my usual works, but it's a Sona, I guess. um I I don't have much in thought for this character sheet. I kind of just doodle around and kind of fill in some spots where I feel like maybe a certain piece of information might be relevant. Like, I think maybe a chibi drawing would be fun, just because I think that would allow folks who have a bit more trouble with weird anatomy to be able to simplify this design, which I started calling staccato. I'm not really sure why I landed on staccato. I usually give my weirder creatures stranger names. They don't really have like classical names or anything like that. Just object names are normally where I go to. But staccato, I guess it could be referred to with any pronouns. It, they, she, he. I don't think it really matters. That's kind of how I feel about my own pronouns. I know a lot of people would refer to me as she, I'm kind of AFAB, so of course that people would refer to me as she, but it really doesn't matter to me, so long as you're respectful. And it goes the same for staccato too. It doesn't really matter so long as you're respectful. Yeah, I have a few more things I need to figure about themselves. I was, like I mentioned, I was brainstorming with my friend, and we're kind of talking about like how it would feed itself, so to speak. Because I was thinking, like, instead of having, like, obviously it doesn't really have a mouth, but I think something akin to an orifice between its arms, I guess, where like an armpit would be, I guess it would shovel food in there once it tears it apart. My thoughts for staccato is that it's an obligate carnivore, but because it doesn't really have a true mouth or true teeth or really true anything, I guess. But I like to imagine that it would tear its food apart with its hands, and then kind of like kind of like an anemone. It would use its hands to just bring it into the orifice, and then it would like go down through its digestive tract. But that's something for another time, and I guess figuring out its internal anatomy is something for another time too. Something for me to think about later on. But I think it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. I really like drawing hands. I'm not the best at drawing hands, but I really like drawing hands. So I think this creature is really fitting for me. It's really fun. I think it's gonna stick around for a while. I hope so, at least. I'd hate to change it up again, but I have so many ideas. I even got some really funny, really silly joke Fursona ideas too, but they kind of lean more towards the gory side, and I don't really feel like that's a truly appropriate way to present myself, but hey, whatever works, I guess. We'll see. Thanks for listening and sticking around for so long. I will be back on my regularly scheduled posts soon. I have some ideas, some more lighthearted, fun plans down the line. I'm also sharing my whips and concepts in my Discord server too. I highly encourage folks to check it out and join. I only ask is that you be respectful, be 18 and up. It's not purely NSFW, but I just prefer to interact with adults on a more familiar level, but that's just my preference. Anyways, yeah, happy June. We've made it through most of the year, and I guess I'm gonna just end it here. All right, see ya.